The Republican governor of Kansas, Sam Brownback, was going to do a grand experiment in Kansas. He was going to make it the Republican dream. Cut taxes on the rich, stimulate the economy. He had the Republican legislature with him. There was no Democrats to stand in his way. Finally, let's do it, man. With no brakes in this car, just cut the taxes and the jobs will flow in. So let's find out what happened. All right. So we go to the Associated Press for the facts. First, they explain how this all started. After he became Kansas governor in 2011, Brownback slashed personal income taxes on the promise that the deep cuts would trigger a furious wave of hiring and expansion by businesses. Okay, well, again, we'll find out if that came to fruition. Brownback took office on a pledge to make Kansas friendlier to business. That's the nice code word for give corporations and rich people tax cuts, and successfully sought to cut the top personal income tax rate by 29% and exempt more than 330,000 farmers and business owners from income taxes. So understand that if everybody's taxes get cut, the rich will keep a lot more money because they have more money to keep in that percentage. But in this case, the top bracket got a 29% tax cut. That is very deep. And then it's nice in Kansas to throw in the word farmers, but a lot of those people that were the 330,000 were business owners. So that also went to the people who were already doing fairly well. Now, they explained that at the time, the moves were popular in a legislature where the GOP holds 3/4 of the seats. So no Democrats to bother them at all. So how did it turn out? Well, again, the Associated Press explains. But the so-called shot of adrenaline hasn't worked as envisioned, and the state budget has been in crisis ever since. Now, many of the same Republicans who helped pass Brownback's plan are in open revolt, refusing to help the governor cut spending so he can avoid rolling back any of his signature tax measures. So they all went in together. Now, all of a sudden, they're like, what, me? No, that was Brownback's plan, man. Cutting tax on the rich. As a Republican, I never thought about that. I don't know. That's Brownback. Ain't got nothing to do with me. No, it has everything to do with the Republican Party. That's the whole point of the Republican Party. It's called trickle-down economics. We're going to get campaign donations from rich people, then we're going to turn around and give them giant tax breaks, and then we're going to tell you that that's going to help the economy. Well, let's find out, did it? You had plenty of time and no opposition. All right. Now, Mark Hutton, who's a Republican from Kansas, all of a sudden realizes, oops, it didn't work. He says, quote, let him own it, referring to Brownback. It's his policy that put us there. Wasn't me. All right, so what did happen? Tax collections missed projections in 11 months of the last year. A growing number of Brownback's conservative allies want to scale back the tax cuts to ease the budget crunch. Now, the idea was if you stimulate the economy through these tax cuts, the economy will grow so fast that revenue will come in at a higher level because even if you're getting lower taxes, the economy is so much bigger that those lower taxes from the bigger economy will lead to more revenue, not less revenue, for the state government. Guess what? Didn't work. That's a fantasy. That's not how it actually works. No, you get less revenue and your economy does not improve because the rich people, a lot of times, don't spend that money. They save it. They don't put it back into the economy. So the predicted job growth from business expansions hasn't happened, leaving the state persistently short of money. Now that's to explain, AP explaining it, but I'm going to come back and give you exact numbers on how many jobs they added over all this time. But more dissension from the GOP now in Kansas. Senator Susan Waggle, who's another Republican in Kansas, says, we're growing weary. Now, while legislators still support low-income taxes, quote, we'd prefer to see some real solutions coming from the governor's office. Where's Brownback going to get the money? He's got to fill that budget hole one way or another. Oh, I got it. He'll take it from you and your kids. Last month, Brownback ordered $17 million in immediate reductions to universities, and earlier this month, delayed $93 million in contributions to pensions for school teachers and community college employees. Well, the business owners had to have their tax cuts, and so did the top tax bracket. So what am I going to do? I'm going to take it from the teachers because they're doing so well. The teachers that run the economy, right? Teachers that are barely hanging in there. Yeah, sorry, I took your pension and I gave it to the rich. And you kids trying to get equality of opportunity so one day you can be rich? We were kidding. No. The plan isn't for you to get rich. The plan is for the rich to stay rich. You're not going to get as much money for education. And sad day for you, bootstraps. But wait, I am pulling myself up by the bootstraps and getting an education so that I could also have that opportunity. No, sorry, I just cut that budget. I need that extra money to give it to my donors. The state has also siphoned off more than $750 million from highway projects to other parts of the budget over the past 2 years. So that's a typical politician. If that highway collapses or that bridge collapses or it doesn't function anymore because I didn't put the proper amount of maintenance money into it, maybe it blows up on another governor when I'm not in office anymore. Oh, people couldn't get around anymore. By the way, if the highways don't work, that doesn't really help business. They really need the highways to transport the goods back and forth. That's somebody else's problem, okay? Donor X gave me money. I gave him tax cuts. I win. If that bridge collapses later and your family's on it, not my problem. Okay. Now, how did they do with those jobs? We already told you it was poor, but how poor was the performance? Kansas reported gaining only 800 private sector jobs between March 2015 and March 2016, a mere 0.1% increase. So the rich got a 29% tax cut, and we all got a 0.1% increase in jobs. It wasn't for the jobs. It was for the donors. That's how this corrupt system works. Now, even some conservatives are getting sick of it. So Scott Drenkard, an economist for the Conservative Tax Foundations, explains where the money went. He told legislators last month that farmers and business owners appeared to pocket the extra money from the state's recent tax cuts rather than use it for expansion. Quote, tax avoidance, not job creation. Well, Scott, we could have told you that from the beginning, and we did. But now you had your perfect Republican laboratory in Kansas, and we found out exactly what's the matter with it. It doesn't work. And by the way, it's not designed to work. It's designed to redistribute the wealth to the people who gave donations to those politicians. That's what it's built for. It's crony capitalism 101. Don't let them lie to you anymore. It doesn't create jobs and it doesn't help you. It's to help the people who put those politicians into office. And that, in our crazy system, is the rich. Only the rich have enough money to now legally bribe our politicians. The way to put an end to it is to get that money out of politics so that our representatives can go back to representing us instead of their donors. There's many ways to do that. One way to do it is wolf-pack.com. Now come and join us. Whether you're a liberal, conservative, independent, libertarian, it doesn't matter. We're going to get our democracy back because this ain't it. This isn't democracy. We're going to fight and we're going to restore free and fair elections. wolf-pack.com.